cover from the Gasco Cultural Troupe. Beautiful performance, I must say. I was hoping that my guests will get up and dance and, you know, shake their waist a little. Oh, you do that? Should they play something? So let's show our dance skills. Or you want something from, you know, the north so that we can...
something from the north.
Something from the north.
We are Ghanaians and Nkrumah and be advocated for intercultural...
Please use your mic. Sorry, yes.
We are Ghanaians and Nkrumah actually advocated for intercultural and symbiotic relationship between ethnic groups and cultures in Ghana. I think that this are part of the reasons why this boarding school system came up so that kids from different diverse and cultural backgrounds could interact with people. I see the reason why we have conflicts in many countries are that people don't want to get engaged in appreciating the cultural practices of others, even religion. In Ghana, we have had Muslims and Christians living in this country for decades, if not centuries. The reason is that we take that effort to understand and appreciate each other's faith. And that is why I think that our educational system ought to be relooked at so that we can have this, you know, this moral education, introduce every student to various religious practices. And I'll tell you, Bella, when I went to Legon, I took Bible knowledge as free elective for 1 year because I did history, my level 100, 200, I did different kinds of religions. I minored in the studies of religion, majored in psychology, but I took Bible knowledge as free elective for 1 year.
A whole year?
Yes, and I had A and A minus actually for the 2 semesters, just to have an appreciation and understanding of the faith Christianity. Once you have an understanding, when people are engaged in it, you would tend to respect people.
That's true.
You wouldn't just look at your corner.
That's true. And by the way, that's Comrade Murtala Mohammed. He's the MP for Tamale Central. And well, it's Ghana month. Also, I have Kamaldeen Abdullah, and he is the Deputy Director of Communications for the NPP. Good morning.
Oh, good morning,
How
Bella.
Are you doing?
I'm terrific. It's a wonderful day. I'm having Ghana to celebrate its 65th anniversary. I mean, that's quite a long way we have come. And like my honorable member of parliament for Tamale Central put it, that intercultural, you know, relationship that we need and we need to we need to espouse and continue to promote. It's so essential to all of us as a setting. Let me commend you for this wonderful setting. You have a stool that you're sitting on. We also have stools. You know, in our local parlance, when you go up north, we call this kwa. Okay, and in the Gbani, we call it kwa. That's in the Gbani. And of course, this is stool anyway. Even though when you go into our cultural setting, in terms of our chieftaincy and how it's modeled, we have a scane where we have to sit on the scane and all that. I was expecting that I'll get a cane here and be
we apologize. We
maybe
have a whole month
that's fine.
Yeah.
So like he said, I mean, we need to promote that togetherness, that oneness of purpose, that common destiny that we need to all you know, travel towards and move on. We have gotten to a level where 65 years is no mean an achievement. But we should remember that what can break us is sharp polarization. Ghana should be put first. Nobody is saying we shouldn't criticize. We must criticize each other. But we must criticize and criticize constructively and ensure that the heritage that we have been bequeathed of is not actually left to rot. We should promote Ghana and help Ghana.
That is why we must collectively reject e-levy.
That is why we must collectively
reject e-levy
You
for the
say
development
accept,
of
you
this
say reject.
country.
So which is which? Which one is good for Ghana?
Ghana. You see, Bella, look, put politics aside. When NDC is in power, whatever innovation that they will put in place to ensure that domestic revenue is mobilized, they will. I expect when MPP is in opposition in an unlikely event anyway to support it. When we are also in power, the innovations that we bring like e-levy, they should also support it for the sake of Mother Ghana for us to move on. You listened to Professor Atuga yesterday. You know what he said? You may see it as a wicked, if you like, policy. However, for the sake of the economy of Ghana, for the sake of the forward march of Ghana, we need it. That is the thinking that we should have as a people. Not just sitting down because of
I think that it would be the height of disingenuity to just take one aspect of his statement. What he said was that.
He said
hold on. What he said that In fact, he used words
comedy.
to describe it that I wouldn't want to use. I'm saying that he used words. Fine. So he said that if you don't do it, there was a caveat. The government will find a way of taxing you and sometimes stealing you. These are strong words. You see, the NDC is not opposed to taxes. As a matter of fact, the position of social democratic government or parties that are leftist and leaning have always anchored their economic development and progress on the basis of taxation, where you think that the taxes must be progressive so that you'll be able to correct the injustices in society, where the burden of the taxes should be on the rich more than the poor. The reason why leftist leaning political parties are focused on taxation is to correct social inequities. So we are not against taxes. Get this very, very clearly. But we are saying that if you want to impose taxes, they must not be seen to be regressive. They must not be seen to be exerting more pressure on the poor than the rich. In fact, if anybody who did economics, even SSS economics, I did economics at the SSS, we have what we call, there are the tax regimes, and those tax instruments of tax, we call it instruments of taxation. It must be progressive. It must not be regressive. Bella, I'll give a classical example. The people walking on the street are not interested in our economic jargons, but they are interested in the impact of those taxes on them. I drive my car to the pump. You also drive your car to the pump. I'm a member of parliament. Let's take someone, a carpenter, who got some small car, and I drive a car, myself and Kamal. We all drove Land Cruisers. Then I go to buy a fuel, 500 Ghana cedis. The carpenter who also managed to get a car that he can take his kids to school, the man also drove the car to the same pump to buy the same fuel, 500. And I decide to pay cash. I pay the fuel cash, 500. They give me 500 fuel equivalent of 500 Ghana cedis. The carpenter who is struggling just to find a means of taking his kids to school also buys the same amount of money, fuel, 500. Then he decides to pay via Momo. He will pay 500 and pay 1.75 tax on it. It doesn't make sense. And that is what we are against. So what Professor Tuguba said, he was telling us that we are torn between the red devil, is it the Red Sea and then the devil? Yeah, the devil. We are torn between this. Either way, there is no survival. But I'm saying that it is also to buttress the point of a government failure. That is the point. So don't tell me that Professor Tuguba says that if we do not, he used certain words. He also said failure to do that there could be coup. Why have we gotten to this stage? Because the one who claimed to know everything about managing the economy of this country is no longer talking. Where is Dr. Baumia in all these narratives?
But at least we've heard from the president.
If the president wants us to take
we cannot live in a country where majority of people do not pay
taxes. We can also not live in a country where a president will be flying every single day in luxurious jets. When you have alternatives, in fact, we have seen other African countries where the president, in any case, if you tell me that the plane is not conducive for use, why is it that you use the same plane to airlift MPs to come from Germany to vote because of e-levy? If you tell me that it is not conducive for use, why did you make it available to other presidents to use? So if you tell me, tighten your belt, I'm willing to tighten my belt. But when I look at you and you don't even have belt hooks, you think I will be prepared to tighten my belt?
Okay.
No.
Let Kamal come in so that he can respond to this.
Bella, this is not for us to overstretch. He makes a very important point and cited example of developed nations and then hinge the basis of their development on taxation. Okay? Which tells us that whoever is viewing us this morning, must see that the taxes that we're talking about are a sine qua non in our society. Very essential to us. Now today, government upon government will introduce taxes. Now the NDC were in power. Question is, when they introduced VAT, even before we came in, what was the reaction of the MPP in opposition? It was to fight it because we felt that it was inimical, it was actually going to impoverish the people and all that. We made all those arguments.
And they withdrew it?
No, they did not.
For what they did was,
what they did was that they had to go back to do the consultation that we wanted, readdress, just as we have.
But that took 3 years.
Wait a minute.
Before.
But of course, as we speak to you, the e-levy is not passed yet. Consultation stage is ongoing. But the point I'm trying to make is that those things have been seen before in our society. Again, fast forward to the current dispensation of our democracy. When we introduced, President Kufuor introduced CST, communication tax, services tax. What did the NDC do? Mutale and Co went haywire. No, that is not going to be proper. It's going to impoverish our people and all that. The next moment when they were voted, the CST was what they used to claim that that was what was going to create employment or help create employment for the economy as it were. Now the point is that we all go back and forth. We have gotten to where globally there has been a pandemic. Globally, economies have actually been have suffered. Globally, things are not going well. Today, as we speak, look at what is happening between Ukraine and Russia, and look at the effect it's going to have on the global economy. Ghana is not out of it. Then an innovation comes in place to say, Ghanaians, this is how we're going to help ourselves domestically to raise revenue to move on. Bella, you recall when pandemic hit, COVID hit, you know what happened? The nose masks that we even wanted, we couldn't import because every place was shut down. And what we did was that this cloth you're wearing, some Ghanaians, out of ingenuity came out to use that to give us some nose masks, and it cushions us. Today we sit down to say that look, internally, in a year alone, some over 700 billion Ghana cedis goes into the transaction of Momo. 700 billion in a year. 2021 alone, so over 700 billion. Then government says, look, this is an area we haven't actually delved in. Why don't we try as much as possible to look at how we can get some taxes to help pushing the economy? Then somebody says someone to say it is going to be impoverish the people, it is going to be wicked, it is so. And why we do that?
But we should be able to seal the loopholes. And it brings me to my next question, even tourism and how that can generate a lot of money for us. Now, look at Year of Return and the number of people who came back to reconnect with their land, okay? Don't you think that we have, even though we had a lot of people coming in, have we sort of failed in even maintaining our monuments and our tourist sites so that we could have generated a lot more money? We're here at the Kwame Nkrumah Museum.
I agree.
And this is not the state it was supposed to have been.
I have made these arguments over and over again. In fact, I even said that, look, the zoos that we have, the parks that we have, you go to Cape Coast, look at these tourist sites. We have left many to rot. And that is a sad situation and a sad reality that we are faced with. Kwame Nkrumah Museum, actually a very beautiful edifice that could have boosted domestic tourism and even increased our international tourism earnings. We have left it to rot. I agree with you entirely. It all boils down to part of the internal deliberate efforts that we should make to raise revenue to help our own economy. Look, I made a proposal the last time. I said we have so many basic schools in this country. All we have to do is that we need a collaboration between the Tourism Ministry or the Tourist Board and then the Ghana Education Service. Now, if one were kids going in primary school, we could travel from, say, the northern part, they bring us to Kintampo, to the waterfalls. Sometimes they even bring us to Kumasi, to the zoo. To look at I've not forgotten about this. And now, wait a minute. You see, and all those things are not more happening. Now, if there's that collaboration, parents know that at least on holidays like this, what my kids is supposed to do is that go to these tourist sites to pay, maybe for example, I am paying 10 cedis or 5 cedis for a kid that I have. And all this money, of course, comes to generate revenue for Ghana Tourist Board, by extension the government of Ghana. We are not doing this, we're not tapping into it. But I'm saying, not just NDC, not MPP, any government that comes, we should look at how we can tap into these areas, maintain our tourist sites, increase domestic revenue in terms of tourism, and also increase revenue in terms of international tourism, as it were.
So why are you not doing that as a government, and you are asking us to pay levy? Don't you think that maybe if we had also fixed these other problems that we have and seal the loopholes, we'll make a lot more money than what we're asking for?
It is interesting. It's a two-way thing. First, the citizens of this country. Second, the government in power. This, I want us to be very objective on. Anything initiated by government that comes with little charge, we are quick to say that we will treat that with disdain by saying that, oh, that money, even if I pay it, somebody is going to squander it.
Is that not what has happened in the past?
I am saying we should not even be pessimistic.
We shouldn't?
First of all,
there's been precedents.
No, first of all, look, being pessimistic has to do, there are precedents, all right. But when going forward, 65 years of our independence, when going forward, being pessimistic always draws us back And I'm saying that if there's a laudable policy that has been pushed, for example, this tourism thing that we are speaking about, and they are fashioning out strategies to see how they can help us. Now it comes out, citizens of this country, instead of we embracing it and first pushing it for it to succeed, all we do is that, look, treat it with disdain, throw it somewhere, and claim that the government of the day is going to take money and then go to squander the money. And I'm saying that is quite inimical to ourselves.
How is it so?
Why? Because we do not become positive people. When the policy is actually driven to you or given to you, you as a citizen, your duty is to ensure that you uphold it and of course see to its success. Then of course you can question the loopholes afterwards.
But we've been questioning, we've been questioning a number of loopholes. I mean, away even from the 12 billion cedis that we've lost according to the Auditor General. When it comes to even COVID funds,
which is not true.
It's not true. How is not true? The Auditor General puts out a report and you're saying it's not true.
That's not very true. I mean,
you're saying it's not true.
There's a process. He's a member of parliament. He understands
I sit on public accounts committee. Don't speak about something you don't know.
So will go step by step. Which institution do we think that we've lost this? Answers are supposed to be given. If the answers are not satisfactorily given, that is where a surcharge will come in. Look,
Kamal, don't even go there. Don't speak about something you don't know, my brother.
You sit down and say that you have
can I help you?
And for that matter, that report says from 12 billion is gone.
For that
matter, 12 billion is gone. That is why I say it's not correct.
Can I be
it's not correct.
Can I be of help?
Okay, let Comrade come in for this one.
Can I be of help to my kid brother?
Okay.
Kamal is my kid brother, you know. In fact, I was wondering when Kamal entered here whether he didn't have a sense of guilt looking at this. What you guys did.
When did you leave government?
Did you have a sense of guilt?
Did you have a sense of guilt yourself?
No.
Kamal, hold on.
I'm saying that.
Very good question. Did you have a sense of guilt yourself?
I didn't, because Kamal is a beneficiary of those who criminally, illegally, and justifiably truncated the democratic process of this country. Those who criminally, illegally, and justifiably overthrew Nkrumah. He's a beneficiary of it. And that is why I asked whether he didn't have a sense of guilt.
Where he came from.
You have a sense of guilt.
Coup d'etat gave birth to NDC.
No, but I thought that. Hold on.
Gave birth to NDC. So
I mean, I think that the guilt transcends that period. Because if your government was in power, well, we can equally ask you that what did you do to improve upon the situation?
I'll come to the improvement. I'm saying that when he entered here, didn't he feel a sense of
Come out,
guilt?
please allow him. Hold on.
Bella, let me be very clear. Unlike Kamal, I have been very, very principled. In fact, on the floor of Parliament and on several platforms, including your station, I have been consistent of my opposition to coups, particularly when it borders on overthrowing a democratically elected government. And that is why I said on your program that, proud as I am as an NDC person, I have never participated in anything 31st. I have never. I've been very consistent. So I was expecting my brother to just for a once or for a moment blink and say, okay, yes, I felt a sense of guilt. But we'll come to that topic. We'll come to talk about how these guys have caused the problems we have today. The problems we have in this country started in 1966. June 24th, 1966. That was when the problems of this country started. And if they never truncated, I'm saying that the Puza Danko tradition. Kamal, by the way, my grandfather.
Let's listen to it. I'll let you
by the way, Kamal, by the way, my grandfather, you know, was one of the founding members of the Buza Danko tradition. I'm saying that the more I read about the political history of this country, the more I distance myself from this. And the pain of this country, the problems you have today, started by these people. You should be apologizing to the people of this country on this day. But let me come to some factual inaccurate statements Kamal made. Kamal said that the NDC was against the communication service tax. Yes, we were. But when you convinced us, when you told the people of this country that you are going to use it to take care of creating jobs for the youth, we supported it. So it is factually inaccurate.
Kamal, please allow him to speak.
When you are speaking, I listen to you. On VAT, you didn't only oppose it. You demonstrated against it. The demonstration was led by no less a person than the current president. 4 people lost their lives, including a 14-year-old boy. You have blood on your hands because you oppose a tax regime that was introduced by the NDC. How dare you talk about NDC's position on e-levy? As a matter of fact, it is not the NDC's position. When we had the post-budget review, all the experts who were brought spoke against the e-levy. The last time I checked, ISE is not an NDC. The last time I checked, Multimedia Group, they are pro-MPP than NDC. They are not even NDC. They conducted a survey. Over 90% of the people of this country says they are against e-levy. The last time I checked, Central University that made available their platform for Dr. Bawumia to do his voodoo economics prior to the 2016 elections.
When you say voodoo economics,
he went there and proffered solutions to all the economic challenges. Yet, we have the worst economic performance in the history of this country under his lead. He is the leader of the economic management team. That university conducted a survey. Over 90% of the people of this country says they're against it. So it is not an NDC thing. The opposition to e-levy is not an NDC thing. Anytime the NDC agrees with the majority of the people of this country, in order for them to whittle down, and then they turn it to an NDC MPP ball game. If you tell me to pay e-levy, and he himself espoused that rather eloquently this morning, that one of the reasons has to do with the COVID, that there is a global pandemic. Kamal, spare us these stories. Those stories be told to the Marines. One, Ghana is not, and we're not the only country hit. Kamal, can I finish? We were not the only country hit by COVID. As a matter of fact, for you to assess the effect of COVID, then you should be looking at the number of lives that are lost or well lost. That there is nothing comparable to that. Many of our neighbors lost more lives than us. None of them, none, and I say this, went to the IMF to get $3 billion loan. None of them got $100 million from the World Bank. None of them got $86 million from the European Union. None of them dipped their corrupt hands into consolidated funds, infrastructure development funds. You did all these things. What do you have to show? If you tell me that you are introducing e-levy because of the economic quagmire that you have sunk the people of this country, the Minister for Health is telling us in the 2022 budget that they spent 32 million Ghana cedis of the COVID money drinking tea. That is what the Minister of Health is telling us. The Minister of Finance is telling us that they want to spend 54 million of the COVID money to establish a bank. It means that you have more than enough that you are establishing a bank. Bella, does it even make sense? Go to Frontier Health, and I have been saying this every single day. A company that had no knowledge in the work they are doing there. A company that was operating illegally, kept the Minister for Health when he appeared before the appointment committee, that they operated without a license. That company is owned by Asante Bediotu's wife and other. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. I know that.
He says it's not true.
Who owns it?
Do you have any documents?
Go to the registrar. Bella,
Go
to the registrar general.
Because
go to the registrar general.
Hold on, Kamal, hold on, please.
Go to the registrar.
I would want you to at least have proof. Otherwise, let's leave out who owns it unless you have documents to prove it.
I am saying this for a fact. The Sandbox woman is one of the owners of Frontier Health. I am saying this are my words, not TV3's words. I am saying it for a fact. Granted that we don't even know who owns it. The Frontier Health is making millions of dollars every month. Does it even make sense to you, Kamal? Your own private business. If Ghana was for you, Frontier Health take $150 from people, and then they give you $2. Does it even make sense to you?
But you knew
so when you
all
turn
of
around,
this, and the minority side of the appointments committee still went ahead to pass.
I am saying that
the health minister.
We didn't go ahead to pass. The position is that we're not passing them. We went into plenary and they voted. I'm saying that we went and they voted. So you can't. The position of the minority was very clear. Bella, I spoke repeatedly on this, that I am against it, and I was always against it. The NDC as a party, NDC as a caucus. I'm saying the NDC as a party, NDC as a caucus.
Honorable Samuel Okuyota-Blakwa even left the appointment committee because he was not happy.
But I'm.
So is that not an indication of the fact that you may have agreed on certain things?
The committee level. I don't want to go into whether.
And then later decided to go and pass it, and there have been concerns about why you even went ahead to pass these ministers. I'll let you come in, Kamal.
Bella, the NDC as a party and as a caucus made the opposition very clear. The voting was done through a secret ballot, and at the end of the day, the person won. They approved them. But that is even begging the question. The point I am making is that you can't use COVID as a justification for the introduction of e-levy when indeed you have mismanaged the funds of COVID. When indeed I have given you this classical example. Bella, could you imagine that what Frontier Health is doing was given to Noguchi or 37 or Kolebu? The millions, hundreds of millions of dollars every month would have been coming to this country. And now you come and then you tell me that you are introducing this because of e-levy. It simply doesn't make sense. But let me make this last point, Bella. You see, and I want to be very, very strict on this issue. The NDC has never said they are against any tax. We have never said that.
You said it. You've made a point.
No, I have said we have never
made
said.
that point.
Kamal, are you the moderator?
Let him land, Kamal, so I can give you the chance to
Kamal,
speak.
we have never said we are against any form of taxes. Kamal made reference to the fact that yes, because when you pointed, the NDC had to step down the VAT for about 3 years. Oh, that is what we're engaging. I mean, there's even ignorant. When you bring a bill to Parliament, and the bill is taken by the Speaker, and it's being worked on, it ceases to be a document of the executive. This town hall meeting you are doing, it's an insult to the people of this country.
How is that so?
It won't
You
change.
said they
It
had
won't
not
change.
Engaged Ghanaians.
No, you don't.
They went ahead
the
to
Bombers
engage
have a
Ghanaians.
proverb that saya mimbaka your kuru.
What does that mean?
You left your door opened whilst it was raining, and then it rained heavily. Your room is flooded with water, and after that you then come and close the door. I am saying that this consultation should have been done before what they did. But you see, it's a mockery to the people of this country. When they went to Koforidua, they went with 32 Land Cruisers. The Land Cruiser, the engines were on for 4 hours, 4 solid hours. Then you tell me that the people of this country should approve e-living.
Okay, let Kamal Dean come in and respond to this. First of all, did you feel guilty walking into
that's what I'm going to address. Interesting. That's what I'm going to address. First of all, let us not twist history or rewrite history to suit us. There was a coup d'etat in 1966, clear. Spearheaded by the military of Ghana then. The military, please. You see, let us not twist the history to suit
Carry on.
Ghanaians who are watching us have read the history too and know who championed the coup d'etat in 1966 on February 24th, 1966. Okay? Of course, we had the military of the Republic of Ghana embarking on a coup d'etat. Afterwards, there was a transition into a democratic government in 1969. That came in or that brought in the Buzia administration. You can't sit here and say for a fact that Buzia, who of course became the Prime Minister of Ghana in 1969, was the one who actually championed the coup or who went ahead with the coup on the, that is a twisted history, and
I'll let you come in.
Lie. That is a very big lie. That he should go back and read his history very well again. Now let's move on.
Hold on.
Now he sits down here,
hold on.
and based on the same happenings on 66. He says that we have blood on our hands.
Yes, you do.
He says that the MPP, he's accusing us of having blood on our hands.
Of course.
He's forgotten. And I reminded him. I told him of his own tradition, where he comes from. He's from the AFRC, PNDC stock that has given birth to the NDC. Do you know how many people were maimed and killed?
The NFC didn't get
under
to
them?
give birth to.
Do you know how many people AFRC killed? Do you know how many people the PNDC administration killed? And you sit here and you want to accuse us of having blood on, please, having blood on our hands. So I'm saying the history is there for us to read. And the Ghanaians who are watching us this morning know which tradition has so much blood on their hands, and can speak to that.
But my point is, does it really matter? Because it may matter in terms of history, yes.
Or we are not guilty.
But my question of guilt, and it's something I asked him as well, is more of our maintenance culture.
Absolutely.
Because yes, we may have committed some mistakes in the past, but it doesn't mean that we need to dwell on that and keep blaming each other. What have we done as governments, the MPP, the NDC, because you have ruled the country in the last, 30 years or so? What have we done to maintain these monuments so that we can make some money off it?
If you listened to me earlier on, when you asked about tourism and about this particular facility, I was quick to admitting that maintenance has become a problem and we should stop or desist from polarizing. Say, governments upon government. Why? The NDC came in. Are you telling me when the NDC came, the Muslim was?
And that's why I'm not absolving the NDC.
Are you telling me that they were looking?
You all have ruled this country for the last 30 years.
You are selling the land.
And we don't have much to say about even just, and this is just one of the many places
you are selling
that we have left to rot. Please hold on, please hold on, please.
I have been at least very charitable to Ghanaians. I have been very frank to Ghanaians, very objective to Ghanaians this morning when you pose that question regarding our facilities in terms of tourism sites or tourist sites. And I did say that, look, whether NDC or MPP, government that has come, we have actually been alternating since the 4th Republican Constitution. We have not done well to ensure that domestic tourism is given a boost. I have mentioned it. And I even said that, look, we still have a window we can go ahead to forge, that collaboration between Education Ministry and then the Tourism Ministry to get the kids to buy in, so that when we inculcate that in them, we'll move on. I made that point earlier on. But see, he brought in the bit of the coup d'etat and sought to pitch Ghanaians against the MPP.
Oh no,
by
history is
saying
pitching
that
you against
we
them.
were those who indeed ousted.
You taught us how to use
and we were those who killed some people, and for that matter, we have blood on our hands. And I'm trying to remind him of his history, not even too long ago. Why? You remember his own flag bearer? I don't know whether he's still a flag bearer or yet to be a flag bearer. John Dramani Mahama. He said, "Look, we are from a revolutionary what?
Of
roots.
course. Is there anything wrong with revolution?
And for that matter, when it comes to violence, when it comes to violence, they know how to unleash violence on people,
Oh, he said
that they
that.
will mark people for boot.
Oh, he
for
said
boot
that.
in this. He said that.
I thought you just said you've been very honest
Go
to people
and get it.
this morning.
Go and get it and read.
No, I
and I'm telling you that when such a person sits here, like my own honorable member of parliament for Tamale Central, sits here to say that he's accusing somebody of some atrocities, then he has forgotten of where he's coming from.
Okay.
Now, moving forward, he made a lot of allegations here, trying to mention names when in fact the veracity of same is not.
Who owns Frontier Health?
He decided that is your name.
So who owns
That's
it?
what he
I
said.
have
Is it true what he said?
emphatically
Who owns
here
it?
That of course, the name he mentioned, for me, I can say for a fact
that it's
is
wrong.
not true.
So who
Come
owns
on.
Frontiers?
When you
And
pray,
how did
ask
they
Allah for
win this
forgiveness.
It's not
contract?
true.
Who
I don't
owns
sit here. I don't sit here to try to, if you like, turn myself into Registrar General and then be able to.
No, but these are questions that Ghanaians have been asking. You are saying for a fact that
Bella.
Frontiers is not owned
So who owns
by
it?
the wife.
journalist.
No. Hold on.
Don't
Hold
boss
on.
her.
Thank you
And
very
I
much.
know
But
what
I'm
you can
asking
do
a
when
Don't
it comes
try
question.
to boss her.
to find out
Absolutely.
who are directors behind this particular.
But
Who
you
are
should
they?
be
You can
able to
easily
tell
do it.
us.
You can easily do
You
it.
should be able to tell us.
Why?
If you say what I'm saying is not true.
Am I the working Registrar General?
But you said
Well,
what I
because
said.
you're saying
He
that
has made this-
what he put out is
I am
wrong.
True. So
saying
tell
that
us
it's
who
not
owns
true.
it. So who
It's
owns
not
it?
true. You can cross check and we can cross check it.
Who owns it?
It doesn't mean that when Mutala says
Comrade,
something.
please allow him. No.
No, what is it?
Hold
when
on.
Mutala says something doesn't mean that that's the truth.
Fine, and you are saying that that's
We
not
can
true. So
always
we're
cross-check.
asking you that. So who owns it,
I
and
have
how did
no
they win the
idea
contract?
Who owns it, but I can say for sure that the name he mentioned is not true.
So who owns
Okay.
it?
I am saying that
Use
the
your
name he
microphone,
mentioned is not true, and I'm very sure.
How
of
did
that.
they win the contract?
Very
It's
soon
something
they'll
that
say
the
it's
health
going
minister
down.
could not tell us
Bella.
during his vetting.
Bella.
It's something the attorney
Bella.
general could not tell us. Foreign affairs minister could not tell us as well. Who,
Owns it?
how they got this contract? Don't you think that it would have been fair to
The
Ghanaians
last
by
time
now
I checked,
that
the right
we
to
know?
information bill was passed into law, and it's now right to information law. The last time I checked,
Yeah,
and I am
deputy
very sure. I am
commissioner
very
of
sure.
the
I am very sure that it is. And then get behind the scenes and know what is happening, as it were, but not to sit here and speculate. When we speculate, we are doing.
I'm not
So who
speculating.
owns it?
Too good.
Who
as a
owns
people.
it?
Who owns
I
it
am
then?
saying that the last time I checked, that the right to information law exists, and it is so easy for media people like you to be able to check and then come out with the facts, so that we will not speak to speculations, as it were. That is what I'm saying. It is to say that, look, me sitting here have no idea who owns XYZ.
Okay.
Like he seems he has an idea.
Oh, so you don't
but
know?
I do know that the name he mentioned, of course.
No,
is
but if
Ezra
you
Rita
say you have
Islamabad.
no idea that it's XYZ
Yes.
who owns it, and yet he has put a name out,
I'm saying
and you are
that
saying
as
it is not
individual
that
to-
person.
For sure that
Are you not
woman,
contradicting
that woman
yourself?
he mentioned. No, I'm not contradicting. Listen to me very well. I am very careful in choosing my words. I'm saying that for sure that woman he mentioned is not the director or is not the
So
owner
who
of that
owns
company.
it?
Okay.
But the point is that I am also making a point that we can make sure by cross-checking or fact-checking to find out whether he's right or not right. But I can
Bella.
say for
Okay.
sure
Bella.
that he's not
Well,
right.
myself and Media General will disassociate
You have to check
ourselves
it.
from
Bella.
what has been said.
Bella.
We will do our cross checks.
Bella.
But I would have been
That's what I
happy.
expected of you.
I would have been happy
That is
if you had
exactly
told
what I
us
expected.
exactly who owns us,
Bella,
who owns
I am saddened
Frontiers.
this morning. Come on, why are you doing this to yourself?
I'm doing nothing to
What
myself.
is he doing to himself?
You
Because
have
of
rather done
politics.
harm to yourself.
No,
Why do you sit down
it's my
here?
turn. It's my turn now. A fine
No, you
gentleman.
spoke for a
Why
while.
do
He
you sit
hadn't
here?
landed,
You've
so
sat
please
here-
allow him.
you've sat here
Allow
and
him
then
to
only
land.
spew out lies.
Allow
And then
him
when
to
you have
land.
been
He's
checked,
sweating. He's
tell you
sweating.
So,
Give him
so,
hand.
so come
Tell
out.
it- get
That's
him
the
paper.
question I'm asking.
He's
That
sweating
even the whole
seriously.
appointments committee tried to
It's
probe
difficult
further
to
into this
defend the
matter,
indefensible.
and we still have these
Very
government
brilliant guy.
appointees saying that
Why
we
do
have
you
no
do this to
idea
yourself?
who owns what and who owns what. The health minister is supposed to be the leader of the ministry, so anything regarding COVID and its management, at least you'd expect that he should know everything about it. And even him, Attorney General, is a senior advisor on government.
Yes.
Okay, even on procurements as well.
I agree.
He said that not all reports come to his table, and so he probably doesn't think that he had seen that report, which is the reason that he gave. Foreign Affairs Minister says she did not know anything about it. Is it not an indictment on your government that we can set up a whole testing center at the airport run by Frontiers Healthcare, and we still do not know how they got the contract and who owns
an
it?
offshore account. The money is not, it doesn't even remain in Ghana.
For you to know. And of course,
please, comrade, please allow him to speak.
Who are behind it is so easy for you to know as well. Bella, I am saying that I wouldn't sit here to say what I do not know. Okay, I would not do that. But the point I want to make is that you sitting here, and I'm repeating it, you have what it takes to establish the veracity of what he has put out there, and of course fact check it and come out and tell us that Media General, we have done XYZ. We've realized that the owners of this frontier company are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, or they are not these people as put on our platform.
The president promised us in January 2017 that he was going to give us value for money.
Yeah.
Do you think that we've gotten that value for money as Ghanaians?
Perfectly, yes. Perfectly,
we have.
Yes, yeah, we have.
Regarding even this contracts that we're talking
why
about?
not? You see, governance, I've always maintained that it's a process and it's a plethora of issues that we have on the table. Now you ask whether or not the president has promised to give Ghanaians value for money. There has been contracts that have been reviewed based on value for money audit, and of course we have had such contracts reviewed and then re-put together. There has also been an initiation of contracts by this government that of course has ensured value for money, as it were. So when the president says that he's giving Ghanaians value for money, I don't think it's out of place at all. He has done so.
I'm asking about Frontiers. In fact, they made about $17 million, and you can get your handkerchief and work. I mean, please understand, if we can get tissue for Kamal Dean, we're here at the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, and well, the sun is up, and so it's understandable. It's not the sun. It's the argument. Is the argument? Oh, well, I'm wearing a hat. Hold on. Hold on.
You are not. Hold on. It's not the sun. Why are you doing this to yourself, my brother?
Hold on. Now, if we're talking about value for money, let's just cross over to the art center, and it's just next to the museum as well. I mean, recently we saw the workers here protesting, and they were saying that we're not happy with the fact that you're trying to move us. We've been told that the lands are being used, developed for the Marine Drive.
Who are they selling it to? Mention the person who is buying it.
Tell us about that. And of course, these people are saying that we're protesting. We're not happy that you're moving us. How have I answered it?
You cited the Marine Drive.
Well, that is the excuse that the government is giving for why they are moving them from there.
Who have you sold it to?
Bella, we are a country that
hold on, Kamala, please.
We are a country that is thirsty, for development. We are a country that is thirsty for modernization. We have had a situation where we all sit down to think and say that, look, our beaches that we have here, just behind us, it's not the best. You just spoke about tourism and spoke about how we can have tourism giving a boost in this country. Now, a government thinks out of the box, says that we need such a facility to assist us. Then you sit down to say that, look, you are questioning the
and by the way, tissue for Kamal, please, if we can help him out.
We are questioning the redevelopment of the art center. And I am saying that, look, are we up there or out there to ensure modernization of our areas of tourism or tourist attractions? If it is yes, the government of the day comes out with a project. Which project is yet to actually be established? Then which project, when the land that we have here, being the art center, is supposed to be part of the same project, then somebody sit down to say that, look, the government is actually destroying art center or selling art center to whatever claims that you are making. I want to say that, look, there is a process of claiming lands. There's a process of ensuring that government facilities or facilities that are supposed to modernize us is given to us. So the Marine Drive, the imperative nature of that project sees to it that those areas that you have mentioned are occupied, if you like, acquired. Then when they are acquired rightfully, then they are used for that purpose. And of course, we will all be happy for the modernization that we are looking for.
Okay, but let me just read. This is an initial letter, and Graphic Showbiz, got hold of this letter. It was signed by one Christopher Anibrika. He's the Senior Land Administrator Office of the Lands Commission in August 2021, and indicated that the parcel of land registered and issued with land certificates number GA 3877 had been acquired by the state under the Executive Instruments 5916, dated April 19, 2016. Now, he was asking who it was sold to, by the way. Well, it says it was acquired by the state.
Who did they sell it to? Who is developing it? The so-called Marine Party boys.
I am saying.
But anyways,
saying that
yeah,
it's
just let him land on this.
As it were, that's what I made. I made a point on it.
It was acquired by the state. Okay, let's go on to. Don't worry, Kamal. Let's go, because he's asking.
Kamal was telling me that I need to go and look at my understanding of our history.
Your own history.
Maybe perhaps we need to get the chalkboard here so that I can take Kamal through. You people, Nkrumah, after the 1948 riot, was not even in Accra. The so-called Big Six, when they arrested them, after Major Imri, that criminal of a British colonel, authorized the British soldiers to gun down ex-servicemen who were taken to fight a war that had nothing to do with Africa and had nothing to do with Ghana. And when they were promised of giving them some basic needs, when they came and they refused to do that, these Ghanaian ex-servicemen demonstrated, and Major Imri authorized for their gun down. When there was riot as a result, when there was riot, can I finish? When there was riot as a result, Nkrumah was not in Ghana. There was not in Accra. When they arrested those you now want us to praise as having contributed towards the independence of this country, they told the whites that it was Nkrumah who organized it. They released them. Nkrumah was incarcerated for 14 months. That's a fact.
That's not true.
Look, I would urge Kamal go and read the Medrib.
Look.
Oh, hold on. Honestly, I have it in my shelf. I have it. Hold on, Kamal. Can I finish?
Please allow him.
Kamal,
please
I have
allow
that
him.
book.
When he was interjecting, you are asking him to stay calm.
Kamal, I have that book in my office in Parliament. Or The End of Illusion. Another book. These two books were not written. Declassified.
Please hold on.
Can I finish? These are books that are declassified. CIA reports. Where in that book they describe J.B. Dankwa as a CIA agent, and that he was on a CIA payroll. As a matter of fact, the Buze you are talking about, when he was made the NCCE boss by the NLC, he was given that post so that he could travel around the country, and for which reason he contested in the elections and even criminally won. He never won the elections. In fact, they banned political parties.
Him, everything is criminal.
Can I finish, Kamal?
No,
Kamal, can I finish?
Come on.
Please.
Bella, they banned Kamal.
Please.
Please,
allow him.
With the facts, that's what they do. Don't degenerate this program. I am saying that they banned CPP and all political parties that had ties with CPP. As a matter of fact, yes. You don't know?
Hold on, please land for me so we can move on.
And in fact, Bella, when they overthrew,
even change the flag of Ghana to CPP.
Bella.
Okay, you let him land. This is something he said he has read. Let him make his points and then you can come in.
Honestly, I'm beginning to empathize with my brother.
Come out, please.
I'm saying that when the military junta, the criminals, when they overthrew Nkrumah in 1966, and before the 1969 elections, our second republic, they banned CPP and any political party that had links with CPP or Nkrumah. As if that was enough, when Buze became the prime minister, a bill was sent to parliament, enacted into law, making the pronunciation of the name Nkrumah a state crime. In fact, University of Ghana, a university that I am having three degrees, and I feel ashamed.
Why do you feel ashamed?
I feel ashamed because that university brought out all the books of Nkrumah and banned them, supervised by authorities of the university. I think that Legon should be apologizing to Nkrumah. These things have, in fact, Nkrumah had gotten people to write an African encyclopedia. They virtually finished with that book. It was burnt. That is why I asked him whether he didn't have a sense of guilt when he entered here. Nkrumah's mother, who was 86 years, virtually blind, was dragged to appear before commission. Bella, you know why? That the woman should say Nkrumah was not her biological son. That Nkrumah was a Liberian. You caused this harm to this nation, and you have the effrontery, the temerity, the audacity to talk about the independence of this country.
Let's move forward. Hold on, Kamal.
Bella, let me finish.
Bella.
I feel extremely
emotional. Kamal, please.
I feel extremely emotional when those who have truncated our democratic process, assuming Nkrumah was not overthrown. You have no justification to overthrow anybody because they knew that they could not confront Nkrumah to the ballot. Okay. If Nkrumah was not overthrown, you think that this Ghana would have been in this state? Well, when they said he declared one party state,
so does it mean that
they were hailing
you're saying that if Nkrumah wasn't overthrown, then we wouldn't have been in this state? Does it mean that your party has not also done a good job?
No, I am saying that my party had to struggle. My party had to struggle to correct some of the ills committed by their forebearers.
But
My
if you
party,
were so concerned
my party,
about the history of the Osajifo, a place like this should not even be looking
and
like
the
this.
NDC was it like this?
Oh, really?
And the NDC, I
Oh,
want to go
Bella,
back
you-
and check your
you know,
archives.
it was not like
No,
this.
no.
You
and
see-
the NDC,
you see
Bella,
how
and the
candidate-
NDC,
you see how
was
well
the
candidate
NDC,
Ghanaians?
did the NDC
Is that-
sell
it's not
lands?
candidate
Did the
Ghanaians?
NDC sell lands belonging
Was
to
this
this?
place like this under your party?
Bella, I was crying. Look at the place. And I remember when the NDC...
Ghanaians will know
Your
who
party
they
did
are
not
listening to.
renovate
Bella,
this
I
place.
want you... Bella, I'm
Your
saying that...
party did not renovate
Bella,
this place.
the NDC,
If you're
hold
so
on, Bella,
concerned
Bella,
about the Asajifo,
the
this place should
NDC,
not
the
have been rotting away
NDC,
like
the
this.
NDC did a lot of work here, and I want you to
What
interview.
What work
Bella,
exactly
I
did you do?
want
Tell
you-
us.
At least the NDC maintain it to a level. Look at the green grass.
Really?
They are all dried. Ask the workers here to interview them on the basis of anonymity. And the thing they will tell you, you'll be very shocked. That is why I asked him, in any case, did NDC sell lands belonging to the museum?
No, but
Did
even
we-
before we move to
I'm
that,
saying
I'm
that did
asking
we-
about here.
Bella, I'm
What
saying
did
that-
we do apart
Bella,
from the
under
green
the
grass? You're
NDC
saying that you did a lot
and the
to
NDC,
maintain
the
this
thing
place.
this place was far better
Was the
than it
water
is today.
running?
I'm saying that yes, it was. Under the NDC, this place was far better. And Bella, in any case, did the NDC sell lands belonging to their party boys? When you asked him, he told you deputy communicating
But I
officer.
read a part of the letter that
I'm
said
saying
it was bought by the state.
It's and given to a private person.
Yeah.
He
Well,
doesn't
there
have the
is
courage.
an aspect of it. No, I do. I have it here. It was given to
Bella,
a private
Bella,
person.
which private
and,
person?
And even
Airport
even
is
the
that
leaders.
same
Hold on.
person.
Even the leaders here were saying that how does government
Bella, it's my
intend to
turn.
generate? Hold
It's not
on.
your turn.
I'm just
Wait.
putting that to bear.
Charlie,
How
just
does
give you
government
another
intend to
tissue.
generate revenue if
Bella.
it is not government that is collecting the dues from them? Because it's a private entity that will be collecting the monies from those who would now be
Bella, can I
plying their
continue?
trade. So
Bella,
let's
you
just
see,
put that
When we
across.
talk about this country, come on, you people, you don't feel ashamed to even be talking. The motion of destiny, you voted against it. You voted against the motion of destiny, a motion that gave way to full independence. You voted against it. How dare you talk about this country? How dare you talk about the independence of this country? And I'm saying that you should feel ashamed and very guilty that when you entered here, and I'm saying, Bella, a man, they can deny the fatherhood of a child to the father. You drag Nkrumah's mother, who was virtually blind.
Bella, Bella.
That
I don't
Nkrumah was a
think we're-
Liberian.
Hold
Bella,
on.
Nkrumah was a Liberian.
Please, hold on.
Nkrumah was a Liberian. Rollins was a Scottish. Collins Dowda, who had been a member of parliament before, contested elections, and you had a certain deputy minister for interior, Thomas Brony, took
Okay.
him to court, and that he was not a Ghanaian. Bella, today in this country, we had ex-servicemen who fought for this country. They are denied to even access the Ghana card because they don't look like certain
Bella,
people.
please.
Their children are
How
please.
so?
We have the Fulani community in Ghana. The Fulani, there's a video.
Hold on, please.
Bella,
Hold
the
on.
Fulani community in Ghana, who stated their grandfathers served in the military of the Gold Coast and this country. They went to access passport and they said they are not Ghanaians.
Okay.
That, Bella,
Would you agree to assertions then? Because a number of Ghanaians hold this assertion and the view that both the NDC and the NPP have not really done much to move us forward.
Bella,
And maybe
Bella,
if the
don't put us-
Osajifo had been alive, life would have been much better for
Bella,
Ghanaians than what we've
Bella,
seen you both do.
We have been consistent in our position, and Bella, like I told Kamal, me, I'm not a
Bella.
blind. I'm not a blind.
please, I'll let
Bella,
you speak.
I don't follow politics, sheepishly. I'm an NDC person. I was inspired to join the NDC because of Rollins, and Rollins continued to inspire me even after his death. But I'm saying that as someone who wants to be consistent, I have never participated in anything 31st. So if I condemn the 1966 coup, and I feel that it would be hypocritical for me to defend another coup because they all truncated democratically elected government. And as a Democrat, if they never did what they did, Ghana would have been a different place. So they should feel ashamed.
Doesn't mean that the NDC as well has not done enough
The-
to move us
to be
forward
very honest,
as a country.
Bella, to be very
Bella.
honest, no political party will be able to do enough.
Bella.
But I'm saying that
Okay.
between the NDC and the NPP, at
We've
least
done better.
they truncated the
Okay,
democratically
come on,
elected
please come
government.
in.
Bella,
Look at what President
Assuming-
Muhammad did. They
Hold on,
borrowed so
hold on,
much.
please
What
allow,
they have
please
to
allow.
show.
assuming today, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, His Excellency the President, decides that the MPP flag becomes the flag of Ghana, how would Ghanaians welcome that?
He would, if he does that in Parliament.
No, please. You've had time. I just want to address your
We
matters.
don't have
one after
time,
the
so
other.
please
Okay,
allow
one
me because
finish,
we're
understand.
wrapping up, unfortunately.
Okay,
And
Yes.
this is exactly what the CPP that he claims today, okay, that they are for, did to this country. Okay? Today, Bella, People died. I mean, I am not to sit here to remind people of such pain.
Of CPP.
Died in prison without trial. As a result of Nkrumah's, atrocities. I am saying that meted out to them. People died in prisons without any trial. J.B. Dankwa died. If you should read the letter written by J.B. Dankwa to Kwame Nkrumah, Bella, if you are a man or a woman who cares about human life and human beings in this country, trust me, you would never love what Kwame Nkrumah did.
What did he do?
Okay? We sit here. Chiefs were actually told in this country to either belong to CPP or you are dethroned. You are disclaimed.
Which chief was told?
I am told chiefs.
Which chief?
As because of that, every single chief in this country who was afraid of being sacked as a chief by Kwame Nkrumah, the tyrant, the dictator.
How do you call him a tyrant and a dictator?
I
mean, that's not fair. That's not fair.
It's
wow.
Fair.
The same man who led us to
tyrant,
independence is now a tyrant and a dictator.
I told you he was pretending. He's not showing his true self.
By Kwame Nkrumah, the tyrant and the dictator,
yeah,
those chiefs were afraid to even speak up.
How do you call him a tyrant and a dictator? And then we have to wrap up, but please learn from me on this.
Every single, I was in Mount Crest University with him. Level 100 student of law will tell you that if you read Ray Akutu, you would understand how human rights was actually thrown to the dogs.
Chachuchikate's one was thrown to the dogs more. You don't know?
You would understand how human rights
was
thrown to the dogs in this country. Now you come to sit here and you are touting. In any case,
President Akufo-Addo has been described as a despot as well.
I read that piece of a joke yesterday.
How do you call that a piece of a joke?
I read that piece of a 22-pointer piece of a joke yesterday.
I'm telling you, Akufo-Addo is a sanguinary despot.
Whatever petition to the Commonwealth.
Yes.
It was a joke. It was a complete joke.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Okay, we have to wrap up at this point.
I am saying that.
No. Unfortunately, we cannot carry on.
Wickedness.
We cannot carry on.
If it comes to actually treating Ghanaians not too well, Kwame Nkrumah actually is held in high esteem or was held in high esteem in that. So when you come to sit here and then you want to say that it is the end.
Hold on, please, comrade. You call a petition to the Commonwealth as a piece of a joke. They're talking about human rights being disrespected and disregarded.
Even within that petition, they have been selective.
Okay. We have to go.
Bella, do you know those who were supporters?
We're done. We have to go.
Do you know those who were supporters of CPP?
I wanted you to touch on the 10 medical students whose school fees were paid.
They discriminated against Collins Dowda.
Let's end this conversation, please.
The one you use as an example this morning.
Just quickly.
He has a case. You were not mentioned.
Come on.
Okay, there's a historical fact where a woman.
So there's some 10 medical students in your constituency that you're paying school fees for.
Bella, when I contested
Just
for
briefly,
the Tamale
please, so we can
Central
wrap up.
elections, I made certain promises, and I can say that I organized free extra classes for 1,200 students plus, provided them for 5 months, paid the teachers, they took them, provided MASET, provided TNT for them. I have provided 25 mechanized boreholes for Tamale. You remember I filed a question for the Minister for Sanitation to tell us why there's acute water shortage. I'm not just doing that, I provided 25 and I'm going to provide additional 25. I promise to fully fund the education of 10 medical science students. And Saturday, I paid their fees full. And next year, I'm going to pay their fees. Next year, we're taking additional fresh 10 medical science students.
Okay.
So next year, it means that the number will be 20.
Okay.
The reason is simple. There are a lot of medical doctors. Bella, let me finish.
Just let him land.
Bella,
you don't want him to speak.
Bella,
but you land so that you can pat him on the shoulder.
And the point is that if you listen to the stories of some of these kids, frankly, after we gave the cash to them, everybody was crying, their parents were crying. There was one particular student. The father died 6 years ago. That boy, a little boy, had to carry concrete to be able to even buy food on campus. And such a student, and a lot of them had their stories.
Yeah.
So I know that next year the pressure is going to be huge.
Okay.
So I'm getting some money, which I would invest, so that by next year it would increase.
For Northern Ghana, or for Northerners for that matter, I welcome it. The initiative by my good brother, Honorable Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, is not a bad initiative. It's good. I have seen members of Parliament for Karaga, Dr. Amin Anta doing same. I've seen
10 medical science
Farouk also trying to do same. I've seen Hassan Tampuli of Gushegu. I pray that we get something like this in Nantong as well.
Awesome.
I mean, where I come from.
Where he wants to contest.
I am praying that we get something
where he
like
wants
that.
to contest.
Nantong is. We are fighting hard to ensure that such developments will get to that.
So you want to be MP for the area? Okay, all right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for speaking to us. Kamal Dean, let's see if he might be the incoming MP for Nantong at this point. But Kamal Dean Abdullah is the Deputy Director of Communications for the MPP, and Comrade Mutala Mohammed is the MP for Tamale Central. Jonathan says that if CPP wanted that and they were more responsible in the management of the economy, then it was good and better. Those claiming to be patriotic yet are corrupt. Okay. Well, today has been very emotional and passionate. That's from Robert. I can't read all your messages. I apologize. But happy birthday to my friend, Pastor Nana Jan Biden. You are amazing. May heaven truly reward you. Today you are a year older. May your joy know no bounds. New heights, new blessings, new grace. Have a super day from Joshua and the rest of the group. And also happy birthday to Yaubinim of Rhode Island. I hope you're enjoying your special day. May life continue to bring you the best days ahead. From Bernard Garcia Jr. Here at the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum and Memorial Park, and well, it's time for us to dance. I told you that we'll play some northern. No, we have to dance. And by the way, I'm dressed up as a market woman.